Welcome back to Little Mama's Schoolhouse. I'm Lisa, and it has been a while since I have posted anything on this channel. And I wanted everyone to know that I am still alive and I will still be posting more content here on this channel. I've just kind of been in a little bit of a rut. I was inspired to start this YouTube channel a little over a year ago, and I jumped kind of both feet in, not really thinking about what it would turn into or anything. And then in just like the last few months, I've just felt really uninspired to post certain things. And so I was just kind of waiting to see what should I even be posting here on this YouTube channel. And the clarity really never came, but that's all that kind of came, was that I'm supposed to still be here and should still make videos. So here I am, not really knowing what this channel is going to look like or anything like that, but I will continue to share homeschooling content here, but I may add a little bit more of just my life in here, our daily homeschooling life and what that looks like, and just all the aspects of motherhood and homeschool, mom, teacher, all of those things. So I'm really excited to kind of see what this YouTube channel kind of turns into. I'm kind of just done just sharing just curriculum and just books and all those things, although they're great. But I was just ready to share a little bit more about me and my life and my family. So I will say that we're just kind of in a weird situation right now. We have been homeschooling since the beginning. My kids, my oldest, she attended preschool for about 2 months, and that was it. And then they did a forced preschool. My oldest and my second oldest did a forced preschool together when they were like 3 and 4 or something like that, around that age, together. And that was just a few months long, and it was really great. But for the most part, they've been here being homeschooled by me. And so they, I guess a lot of the families that I see here on YouTube or even Instagram are a lot of public school families turned homeschool families, which is so awesome and so great. But where we have homeschool from the beginning, we're just kind of in a different boat. None of my kids know what public school life is like. They hear stories, all stories across the board, negative stories, positive stories, all the things. And so they are just really curious. My oldest especially is just really curious to know what public school looks like. So she is currently in 3rd grade, but we are considering letting her do a year of public school or attend a charter school or something to gain that experience. And it's just really weird because here I am. I have this YouTube channel where I post homeschooling and just how great it is. And I've had a lot of friends, come to me asking questions, and then they decided to homeschool. And so it's just kind of weird that here I am with my oldest, who is just kind of curious about what public school and maybe even charter school kind of looks like. And so we're not sure. We're just kind of gonna head in that direction to see if it feels right or if it doesn't. But that won't be until next year, and we won't know more details about that. So we've just asked her to just kind of continue to dig deep into her schoolwork, into her academics, so that way if she decides to attend public school, she will be exactly where she needs to be when she starts there. So second scenario that I have dealt with, I guess, in the last few months is, again, that I've had a lot of friends decide to homeschool. And one specifically had a lot of fears and concerns. And so I had her come over so we could address these fears and concerns. And one of them was that she looked at me and she thought that I was a type A personality and that I was very organized and on top of things and all of it. And I just laughed because I am not that way at all. I am very scatterbrained. We are just kind of trying to make it through most days, it feels like. I do have a toddler who is very busy. She is 3 and she can destroy the house in a matter of minutes. And so when we are busy doing schoolwork, the whole house just falls apart, it feels like. And then on top of that, I deal with an autoimmune disease, although it has been lying pretty low to the point where I've even wondered if I am still struggling with it, which is really awesome. And then secondly, I deal with seasonal depression, and I am just coming out of that whole situation. For about a week and a half, it's been over, which is great. I feel more like myself. I'm done being in like this little sad little hole where I just don't like anybody. And so it's been really great. But I do want people to know that follow me here, that what you see here, in YouTube and social media oftentimes isn't reality, and that is very true for this channel. I hope to share more content of our daily lives and just what that looks like. And so with that, I hope that you'll be able to see a little bit more of who I am and just the scatteredness that we really are over here. And then I thought it would be helpful to give a little bit of a curriculum overview of what has worked for us so far, what we have changed, and that's mostly what I will focus on, is what we have changed so far this year. And the biggest change that we have done is that I had my third grader, my second grader, and my kindergartner. They were all doing Simply Math. I have to be honest, I do not love the Simply Math. I wish that they would have stuck with the old math. I get that there was a lot of moving pieces and parts, and it was really hard for a lot of families, especially families with a lot of kids. But I love the way that math was just laid out. It explained the why, it gave lots of practice, it taught a lot more in depth. I just felt like it was a much better program. So needless to say, my third grader and my kindergartner are now doing the old math. My oldest, she was starting to really learn multiplication, and although they have a lot of tools to memorize multiplication, and I remember memorizing multiplication, she was just getting so frustrated because she couldn't understand why things were the way they were, and she wanted to figure out, how does this all work? She wanted everything broken down to understand how this even works, which I think is really awesome for her. And so we decided to throw out Simply Math. For her, she is doing the old math. I remember flipping through that, and we had done, I think kindergarten and first grade in that level, and it did such a good job of explaining things better than the Simply Math does. And so we went back to that, and she is so much happier. Math has become a delight again because she is figuring out more of why things are the way they are and less of just memorization and clocks and calendars. Although those things are important, I don't feel like that they need as much of a focus as they have been having in the Simply Math. Anyways, so she is back to doing that. My second grader is still doing the Simply Math. I think next year I will switch her back to the old level 3 math, but she's just good. She doesn't really care to understand the why. She likes just the memorization. She likes, and she's good at that, and so she's just kind of there for learning that. She's not really wanting to go more in depth with math. She's just there to kind of get her work done and move on. So Simply Math works really well for her. And then for my kindergartner, I will be honest, I was really disappointed in the Simply Math kindergarten. I just felt like it was really babyish. It just wasn't our thing. We have done the old math kindergarten for my other two, and I liked that it taught, the subitizing and all of those things pretty early on. Like, you were learning, I felt like they were learning just a lot more in depth of math rather than like 2 plus 1. Like, I think we just got 20 lessons into this Simply math level K, and we were still like 2 plus 1 and tracing the number 8. Like, it just wasn't, we were ready for more, I should say, and I wanted a better foundation, so we moved on past that. But other than that, my oldest two are still doing the old language arts. They love it. It's great. They do really well on their state testing, which I know that a lot of people don't care about, but I'm probably one of those people that care more than others. Science, we're still doing the science co-op, and that has been great. And I will talk more about that in the future of what I did and taught and how I taught it and all of that. I'm teaching reptiles, amphibians, and fish, and it has been great. So there's that. And then social studies, we've pretty much only been doing the 180 days of social studies. I ordered it off of Christian Book, and it's great. My kids love it. They love that it's independent. They love that they're just able to just, go down, do their worksheets for the week, and they're done. It only takes them 10 to 15 minutes to do all the worksheets for the week, which is great. And I still feel like they're learning enough for what they should be learning for their grade. And so that's awesome. We are trying to implement reading just more books aloud of just different people in history, different events, that type of stuff, and they really enjoyed that. We did the draw right now, and they loved that. We aren't super good and diligent at keeping up with it, and I should be, but they really enjoyed that. Even my kindergartner was asking when we could do that again. So that's always a good sign. I'm just looking around. I have my carts here. So they've also been doing building spelling skills with Evan Moore. I ordered that through Christian Book, and it's been great. I think it's been helpful. My oldest has not really ever been interested in making sure that her spelling is correct. And so it's been helpful because I feel like it's just kind of, taught her those skills without her really realizing it, and her spelling's improved. And then my second grader, who I just feel like they're just so different. Each of my kids learn differently, and she's done really well with spelling with or without Evan Moore. So is it something that you necessarily need? No, it just really depends on what the kid needs and what they're interested in, and maybe what you need to supplement with, just to try to help them be better in whatever area that you need them to improve in. So I'm looking at my carts here. And I think that's pretty much it. We've been doing some time tests. We're trying to get faster on our subtraction and our addition. So we've been doing flashcards. They've been reading a lot. And I think that's about it, because I think everything else is pretty much in our morning basket. And I just need to make a video about what we do for morning basket. So we will do that. I will share this. So my kindergartner, she does not do the 180 days of social studies. I read the reviews, and a lot of people felt like that was really basic information, and that I guess a kindergartner didn't really need a book specifically for that, which is fine. So this is what we do. So I have a bunch of some printables I should share. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3 homeschool for me. I have done this for every single one of my children. And this is all about the USA. So she didn't have to color the boy because you get one title page. But then she colors these little cute pages, and then we put it together as a book, and then we read it. And she learns about just the main landmarks. Anyways, this website has all the, has information about all these different countries, and they're free printables that you turn into these little books. And my other two loved doing this in kindergarten and first grade, and so that's what we do. So super fun, and then they can just learn about different things that you want them to learn about. So again, this one's about America and kind of the symbols that we use. So the flag, the bald eagle, the Statue of Liberty, all of those things. But we also, or I should say, they will also do, I think they pick 2 to 3 countries. And I have them color them, and then we learn a little bit about those countries. I recently just printed one about what Christmas is like in Germany. So then they can compare and contrast what Christmas is like here in the US versus what Christmas is like in Germany. And so there's that. So always use different resources. There are so many free resources that are great on Pinterest or the Teachers Pay Teachers everywhere. So I highly recommend those kinds of resources, especially for those kindergarten ages. And if you have more, want more ideas for different worksheets to cover those different aspects of civics, economics, geography, and history, just let me know, because I can share those. I save basically everything that I did with my daughter, who's the oldest, on Pinterest, and then I just go through and I just print it when, the next child gets to kindergarten. and then they just do those worksheets. We work through them, and it's enough. It's not a ton of worksheets. Like, they could probably just get it done in like a week's time. But I spread it out a little bit, and then they have it done, and they've learned the social studies they need to learn for kindergarten, which is great. Anyway, so that's a little bit of an update with life here, what it looks like. Again, I'm sure this is like the 4th time I've said this, but I really do hope to share more about just our daily life and what it looks like. So if you are interested in that, you should just let me know. Because sometimes I always just get worried, like maybe people just want to see books. But I know that I follow a lot of different accounts, and the accounts that I'm the most diligent, at watching are the ones that show me more of their daily lives and reality and what that looks like. So you'll have to let me know if that's something that you're interested in seeing here on this channel. Anyways, thanks again for being here, and I hope to see you sooner rather than later.